What's up, everybody? Gunfighter R6 checking back in, guys. So for this Christmas we had bought our kids, or rather Santa brought the kids, a little Yamaha PW80. If you watch like the first episode of my How to Ride series, you'll see it in the video there. And so when we had bought this, you know, of course we posted on Facebook of what we got the kids, and a couple of my my mom's friends were like, what, they're gonna let their kids ride? How young are your kids? Blah blah blah. Now my kids are 8, 6, and 3 currently. Now obviously the 3-year-old, he doesn't ride it by himself. It's far too much, you know, too much for him. He can't even put his feet down, nothing like that. So he rides on my lap. It's more of a just get him introduced into motorcycles, you know. Now my 6 and 8-year-old are capable of putting their feet down and operating the fucking bike. So they mainly just have an issue with the weight and trying to figure out how to keep it upright with their feet down and not letting the bike just lean on them and push them over. But anyway, so that kind of brought me up into this topic of you know, like, how young is too young to ride? Because, you know, this other person was just like appalled that kids that age would ride. Now I've seen plenty of kids that are, you know, 5, 6 years old riding. So to me, honestly, I believe that, you know, before 5 is kind of pushing it on anything, unless you get them some like little electronic motorcycle. But anything from 5 years old and up, they can pretty much do it. And I mean, hell, they make training wheels for the sons of bitches. It's not like it's a real rocket science. Basically, they have go and brake. They just got to figure out how to steer the thing. You know, and half of these new bikes, like some of the 50s, they come with like throttle stops, so you can actually like dictate how much fucking throttle the bike actually is going to get, so they can't just go careening at 30 miles an hour their first time. But I want to see if you guys had any opinions. How young is too young to ride? Honestly, I think it really kind of varies between kids, because, you know, some kids are like twice as responsible as other fucking kids are. So, you know, you take that into consideration. Obviously, size kind of comes into consideration. If you're just like an overtly small kid, you know, you're gonna have trouble till you get a little older. But you know, my opinion really is like, you know, at 5 years old, a 50cc is not a bad thing. Like, so the 80 is going to be a little bit big for my 6-year-old. So what I do with hers, you know, I hold onto the handlebars and I kind of let her give it, you know, basically just a hair bit of gas to get going, and kind of let it idle around and just get her to get the feel of trying to control it, trying to get her into a habit of, you know, when to use the brakes, stuff like that. My 8-year-old, she has no experience with motorcycles whatsoever, and so she's already crashed, but that's part of the learning curve, you know. But not a big deal. The 80 is not that big for her. It's actually probably about perfect fucking size. Now when it comes into, you know, like a 250, 300 size bike for the street, honestly, I know there's a lot of guys that, you know, will talk their parents into getting them one when they're 16. And while if you're mature enough and, you know, everything kind of like the stars line up for you, that's cool. But honestly, I hate to see when kids, the first thing they get is a fucking motorcycle when they turn 16. Because one, they usually end up just wrecking the thing, and two, you got no experience dealing with other cars and traffic on the road. So that experience is necessary, because I mean, driving a car is nothing like riding a motorcycle, but dealing with other drivers, learning what people do, the rules of the road, stuff like that, is obviously critical to riding on the street. So honestly, I would like to see kids, you know, with at least 2-3 years of driving experience in a car before they go out and buy like a 250, 300 to learn on. I'm not saying that if you're a 16-year-old right now and you've had your license or permit or whatever for a year and your whole goal has been to get a motorcycle at 16, not to do it. You know, I mean, it's your life, your money, your decisions. Yeah, squeeze in. That's cool. You know, it's your decisions. Just saying that, you know, a little more experience on the road, dealing with people, be a little bit more beneficial before you get a motorcycle. Because the stakes are just a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. You know, but I'm not going to tell you what to do, obviously. That's not my place. But just make wise decisions. But anyway, guys, yeah, down in the comments below, let me know what you think is too young to ride. And we'll break that into two categories, like when too young to start learning how to ride a motorcycle, and you know, what's too young to actually ride on the street. What's your guys' opinions on that? Here guys go, a little Blackhawk action. I'm going to get the hell up out of here. As usual, guys, if you like my videos at all, slap that fucking subscribe button. You can go ahead and fuck with me on Facebook. You can talk shit on Twitter. All the links for that shit, you can be found down in the description below on the video. Otherwise, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Deuces.